The first, what does it mean by sustainable development and peace? What do we understand by peace? Most of the time, we see peace as the absence of war, while it's good, but it's not enough, and it is not also the most important one. The most important peace, internal peace. The internal peace produces external peace. If internally no peace, even if externally no war, but the person continue suffering. Peace and development are continuous processes that require constant cultivation and may necessitate decades of effort before the benefits are realized. It is not a one-day process. The 17th Sustainable Development Goals, as socio-economic and human development that merits the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Underline, without compromising the future generation to meet their own needs. This is perhaps the broadest official interpretation of development that have ever been adopted. It includes economic growth, but also social inclusion, peace, justice, and good governance, job opportunities, and social and environmental protection, as well as an implicit valuation of the future in terms of development, investment, and consumption decisions taken today. The traditional notion of peace, the absence of conflict, is not enough to bring about sustainable development. Without sustainable and peaceful solution, the world may continue to downward spiral, running into the boundaries of Anthropocene, including finite natural resources and limits to growth, ethical, social, political, and legal constraints, limits of scientific knowledge, and uncertainty. The challenge is to anticipate and avoid risk, pathways, and stabilize human nature interaction in an increasingly interconnected world by counter-reacting forces that slow down and change courses towards a more sustainable, peaceful, and viable world, allowing for a timely and self-organized transformation that takes the limits of the Anthropocene into account. Sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. I repeat, underline again, because there is a misconception about sustainable development. Sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without, has to be underlined, without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. Here, the problem of natural resource come. We are consuming to the maximum without thinking the future generation. Means we are becoming egoist generation. The technological changes required to sustain it, the transformation of the relationship between the existing destruction and pollution towards a process of renewal development, and the compatibility of economic development policies, not only for environment preservation, but also for the recovery and protection of natural resource. We don't think only preserve, but we have to think also to recover, because a lot of things it's already damaged. Sustainable development cannot be achieved where there is no peace and stability. As conflict and violence are widely recognizing as the number one obstacle to achieve them. Our world is in a very great crisis of missing peace. The people, they are fighting, and the big, powerful world, they are the one ready to fight and destroy the others. Sustainable development, goal number 16, promotes peaceful, inclusive society for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. Therefore, peace is the key internally, the first thing is. But our world has a big problem today concentrating external peace. Those who advise us for sustainable development, they are the one distracting the peace of the world. Therefore, Africa has to wake up early before entering in that trap. What do you mean by public relation officer here now? There is a need to present conceptual framework of public relation in order to clarify misconception in many quarters. Public relation has been commonly defined as the act of making friends, keeping friends, and working with friends to achieve a goal. This is a traditional way of looking, but we have to come out from that one. Professionally, public relation is a management function that identify the interests, needs, wants, and expectation of the internal and external public of an organization or institution, and integrates it in the planning and systematic program of action and communications aimed at building mutual understanding, respect, recognition, peace, and harmony between the organization and its public to ensure mutual satisfaction, greater productivity, and improved work ethics. Public relation and peace are interrelated. Public relation officers seek to create a good image and rapport between individuals and organizations to maintain a harmonious relationship, peace, seek to achieve a state of tranquility and harmony in personal relations with no violence, no war. In essence, public relation and peace complement each other. The public relation is the one connects pass information to the public. Now, what type of information are you passing to the public about natural resource, about the situation, about your country, about your company? If there is a negative information outside, responsible person is the public relation. If the institution has a bad image, a responsible person for that bad image is the public relation officer. If the institution has a good image, the responsible person is the public relation officer. If the country has a bad image towards outside, the public relation officer is responsible. If it has a good image, the public relation officer is a responsible person. If in the country there is no peace, the responsible person is the public relation, not passing exact and good information, distracting or passing good issues. Public relation practitioners have a role to play in promoting peace in their various capacity and institutions. PR is just like most professions is best practice in peaceful environment. For peace to be achieved, there has to be public awareness and enlightenment in organization and in the society through good communication. Internal public relation internally ensure that there is sensations of staff on company policies and any arising matters through good flow of the right information within the organization. This helps to curb and reduce work conflicts, in turn encouraging harmony. Externally, public relations officer ensure that the stakeholders and generally public receives the right information and intended for them to achieve a particular purpose. Conflict is like to occur in situation where there is misconception or lack of information. By delivering the right information, public relation reduces conflicts and promotes peace and accountability. Public relation is the state of maintaining a harmonious relationship between an organization and its target publics. Now, as was asked by the head of department, what is the message we are taking? I'm talking for two, for public relation officers and for academicians, and that means researcher, the university and education's all level. Public relation officer, recommendation for you: collect, analyze, and packaging of data on current economic, political, and social trend to guide decision making. Collect the proper information to guide decision making about the natural resource, about the country peace, about everything. Prevent and manage crisis, enhance communication through transforming hostility through friendliness, empathy, and thinking for your friends and the good of the country. Public relation managers are trained as speech experts and professional spokesman of their organization to say the right things at the right time to the right people in the right way. I will repeat. Public relation managers, you all people, are trained as speech experts and professional spokesman for their organization to say the right things at the right time to the right people in the right way. Academicians and researchers. Education for sustainable development entails a reorienting of education to guide and motivate people to become a responsible citizen of the planet. Here I am putting the planet. When we are talking sustainable development, we think the planet, not our small village or only our country or continent, but a planet. It addresses the interrelationship among environment, the economy, and society. It encourages linking ideas to action, not only theory. Higher education is dying because of theory, but education has to link ideas to actions. It supports the acquisition of knowledge to understand our complex world, the development of interdisciplinary understanding, critical thinking, and action skill to address these challenges with sustainable solution, and the values and perspective to participate in a democratic society, live sustainability, and to pursue sustainable livelihood. Nothing could be more important to the future quality of life on this planet than ensuring through education the creation of a global culture of sustainability. For education, for sustainability, education for sustainability development requires change in how teachers teach, not what they are teaching. I repeat that we have to change how to teach, not what to teach. The content can change according to the circumstance and the need of society. But how to teach is important. It's necessary to teach how to think, not what to think. If we teach what to think, we will be a colonizer and stuck the development of the continent, and we block the people not to think, but to become a slavery. Therefore, we have to think how to think, not what to think. And education for sustainable methods for measuring and assessing the students' achievement. It's not necessary always to use traditional way of assessment. according to the situation, according to the circumstance, according to the time it is necessary to change. We have to be willing to change. First, those who are responsible teaching. Second, those who are receiving. Teaching, learning process. Now, education sustainable development requires method of measuring and assessing students and their achievement. Now, 4 points about education. Learning to know, that requiring the instrument of understanding. Learning to know. Learning to do, so as to be able to act creatively in one's environment. 3, learning to live together so as to participate in and cooperate with other people in all human activity. And the last one, learning to be so as to be better developed one's personality and act with ever greater autonomy, judgment, and personal responsibility. I would like to underline 4 points. Learning to know, learning to do, learning to live, learning to be. These are the important things in learning. Not only collecting information, but has to be formation, not having information. Information, even the computer can have information, but doesn't know how to analyze it. As we are a human being, we have to live as a human being, not to have information, but formation and become independent thinker. We have to educate for peace, human rights, democracy, and sustainable development is predicted on the development of a sense of universal value. However, these values must be understood in the context of various cultural development situation. Develop love for humankind and environment. The key point now is develop love for humankind and environment. Develop love for humankind and natural resource. Develop love for the future generation. Concluding, sustainable development balance economic, social, and ecological issues for present and future generation and integrate technology. It prevents and protects natural resource and human existence. Natural resource and human existence. We will only to achieve a better future for us and our children by considering the economy, the environment, and the society together in decision making. Educate the mind for young people psychologically and intellectually so that they form strong attitude against conflict and war and promote international peace and brotherhood. Sorry. Education for sustainable development promotes competence like critical thinking. I would like to underline, we need a critical thinker, not repeating like the echo what is told. Imagining future situation. As a student, you have to imagine what will happen after 10 years in Tanzania. You have to imagine today and prepare an answer today, not what happened things and making decisions in collaborative way. In this process, public relations officer plays a significant role in peaceful implementation of sustainable development by transmitting the correct and necessary information. The correct and necessary information. I wish you all the best for all public relations officers.